What's up, guys? We're back in Pilsen. In 1980, three guys in the Pilsen area chose to form a group to protect themselves from the harassment, the bullies, the robberies, all that stuff. They chose their colors to be white, red, and green. Let's get into this video. In a city known for its fearsome super gangs, criminal enterprise like the mob, gangs, Chicago has its own culture, from graffiti on the walls to how the south side and the north side are separated. In Chicago, it's where you're born that defines who you are, not your race. This is gang life.
Cartel got me working for the big faces. Federale got my car full of brick cases. Hit the pen with a grin, there ain't no faking. I was picked to my back for my shoelaces. Got out, should've seen the look on they faces. All jealous cause your boy stacking hella paper. Set up by the crew, they done put a banger in the trunk of my car and left me to hang there. No thing, then attorney went and beat the case. Got a job digging holes for minimum wage. Had a dream that Cato said he proud of me. Stay here, don't leave, keep doing your thing. Quit the drugs, but you know I went back to selling, 6-time failing. I went back to prison, got my head right, got my bread right. Push these weights like a kilo in a tailpipe. Trying to do right, I got a mission. Trying to give back to my boys in the prison. The old me's gone, I ain't never gonna miss them. From wrong to strong, stay true to the vision. From wrong to strong, from wrong to strong, from wrong to strong, from wrong to strong.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is JC. I am Wrong to Strong. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up, thumbs down. Let me know what you think. We have another episode of Gang Life today. If you are part of my crew, my familia, my raza, súbanse a la Suburban. Let's put some gas in it because we're going back to Pilsen. We're going to go check these dudes out. In 1980, a big Mexican immigration like flux, just, you know, a lot of people were coming from Mexico and they were coming out here to work in the country, labor jobs. There was a lot of labor jobs in Chicago, so a lot of them were coming and staying in Chicago. My grandparents came in the 40s. That's when they came over. But there's always been a lot of work in Chicago, especially for labor jobs, because there's a lot of like big warehouse companies like Brock's, Lakewood Fans. I mean, stuff there where they people have to work on the line, you know. And there's always been a lot of Mexican immigrants in Chicago. There's the whole South Side is all Mexicans, so there's a lot, and it's been happening since like the 50s. You know, people have been coming up to Chicago. But they were facing a lot of discrimination by their own people, and you see this a lot. You see this a lot between us. Even when I did time here in Phoenix, I had to choose between, you know, sitting with the guys that were born here and sitting with the guys that are from Mexico. And in my head, because in Chicago, you know, it's a little bit different, I was like, it's the same thing. It's like you're telling me to choose between my mom and my sister, you know what I mean? So it was like, it's a little crazy, man. I don't know why we do it to our own people, but it's always been happening. And, you know, even back in those days, so, you know, back in those days, the Mexican youth and the laborers were getting bullied and robbed. You know, they would wait for them to come out of work, and they would be at the bar, and then they would, like, you know, smash them and take their money, and that's messed up, you know. And eventually shit got old and they all got together and on 17th and Racine, and they came up with the name La Raza. I like that name. The Raza, I got a couple boys there that were La Raza, and you know, they have a huge hood over there in the back of the Yards neighborhood, Pilsen. They spread out. The Raza made the decision to turn Folk Nation. That's a 6-point star, just like the Party People, the SDs, the Ambrose. Those are all folks. You know, they cock their hat to the right. They cross up to the right. They raise their jogging pants on the right. You know, everything that has to do with the right side. So you know, that's what they decided. And I mean, I want to say in the 80s. Man, the Raza went through so many wars because at the beginning when they first started as a party crew just like Party People. They were just together to protect themselves. They didn't even want to gangbang or have nothing to do with the gangs, but then the gangs kept you know messing with them, and they had to do what they had to do to survive, and that's how it is. I've seen it happen so many times. It's crazy because one of my subscribers was telling me how we used to go and mess with them on 58th and Hamlin all the time, and they eventually, you know, ended up turning kings because they hated us because we would go over there and just mess with them for no reason. And now that I'm older and he was telling me, I'm like, it makes sense. So like all these gangs that started as like little party crews that just wanted to have a good time and throw parties, you know, got pushed into this life that it's not for everybody. You know, the Raza fought several bloody ass wars with everybody, the Ambrose, Party People, I mean you name it, Tutu Boys, but they still managed to grow into new areas in Chicago, like I said, and, you know, on the south side, back of the yards. They moved over there by Marquette Park. They have a couple of suburbs, and they haven't lost much territory. I think after the research that I did, they only lost, I think it was one suburb of all the hoods that they opened, and they opened close to 9 or 10, and it was due to, you know, them being the only gang in that suburb, so the cops really, like, you know, put their full attention on them, and they got them out of there. So, you know, it's crazy because the gang structure and how it works, it's almost like they push you to actually become a gang, because if you're not part of them, then you're their enemy, and they start to mess with you so much. And then in that Pilsen area, if you go back, you know, 1980s, you know, even the 70s on up, the Pilsen area it wasn't a bad, like, horrible area, but it wasn't a good area. There was a lot of shootings, a lot of gang activity, a lot of drugs, you know, and the main thing over there is gangbanging, man. Everybody does it. If you're not part of a gang, it's almost like crazy, because then they ask you, who do you hang around with? Because it's so normal. But, you know, throughout the years, like I said, these dudes had it was the test of time and have kept growing, and, you know, now they're in different states. The Raza, you know, one of the key factors that actually helped La Raza when they first got started was that the gang units couldn't concentrate on them because they didn't know who was who. And since their gang paraphernalia, whatever you want to call it, like colors, signals, everything, they use the Mexican flag. They use They used, you know, the colors of the Mexican flag. They use the eagle. They use all the stuff that some of us that are not gang members would call ourselves. You know how you say, I'm Raza, you know. So that's what helped them crucially in the first years of them expanding like that, because the cops just thought they were just, you know, Mexicans, whatever. So it was crazy. But yeah, they had a lot of, in the 1990s, they were bringing in, they had some big connections in Mexico, and some of their members were key, you know, members that, you know, laid the ground down for a lot of that work that started coming into Chicago in the 80s, man. And it's just, like I said, I share these stories to, you know, as a learning tool, information, maybe get a laugh, a smile, all that stuff. I'm not glamorizing the gangs. I'm not, like, you know, giving them the credit and all this. But the thing is that it's part of history. It's part of Chicago. It's part of you know, the 90s, 80s, 70s, and today, this is why it's fucking crazy out there, and it's a madhouse, because it's not what it used to be. It's a different era, but this is history. This is La Raza. They've been running strong since 1972. They started independently, didn't need nobody, didn't have no beef with nobody, but just took care of business fast. They retaliated when they needed to. They are looked at as the lone wolf of the gang culture. La Raza. Yeah. My name is JC, man. You know, don't judge nobody. Stay in your lane. Live savage. And remember, you only have one life to live. If you live it right, one life is all you need. Stay your ass out of prison. Stay your ass off of drugs. Stay your ass out of gangs. Go to school. Educate yourself. Every day, work to get better. You. Because you do not want to die one day and regret that you did not live your life to the fullest or educated yourself to the fullest. So, but don't listen to me, you know? What do I know? I only went to college for 17 years. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys on the rebound.